The recording started. Guys, we are going to start. Welcome, everyone. We are going to be doing a quick recap on the Sikha. And then we are going to be going Hai Shemshi. We're going to learn a bit further. And at the end of the class, if any of you have any questions on any of the Gemara or the Sikha, I'll tell you when the class is over. You're welcome to leave, or you can stay on to hear the questions and hear the answers. Okay. I'm going to share with you my screen when we start reading the Sikha inside, and I'm going to try to do this every day. From now, we'll do one recorded class, probably for Gemara. The Sikha class will be live, and this way you can ask questions, and the recording will obviously be available after. Okay. Yes, I see your hand, David. I'll take your question right now. I don't want to take too many because I want to start the class. 1 second, David. Yes, David.
Can we not do live? Because pre-record is so much better because you go at your own pace and you can go back and pause the video. It's so much better.
Okay, good question. Let me admit. Okay, so to answer your question, David, I want to try doing live classes. If you look in the worksheet for the Sikha, I put a question that I want everyone to answer, what they prefer, live or recorded. And based on the answers, I'll decide what we should do further. But either way, if you prefer the recorded class that you could go on your own pace, this is going to be recorded and it will be available after for you to look back at. Okay? So if you prefer the recorded, you can always look back at it after. Okay, so let's start. So the Sikha we're learning, guys, is about Masei. Eila Masei ben Yisrael. I'm going to do a quick recap. All of you have been filling, everyone here on the screen, most of you, I have been following the whole Sikha and filled it out very well. I did look through your work, and I will be grading it and sending it back to you within the next few days as I have time. It's a lot of work to look through. So the theme of the Sikha is, it's very appropriate for Pesach, is leaving Mitzrayim, leaving spiritual Mitzrayim. Leaving spiritual Mitzrayim, like you all heard in the classes, is things that you're stuck in, things that are narrow, areas that hold you back, challenges that you have, or things that are hard for you to do. That's Mitzrayim. When you're able to work on yourself to get out of that, and when you're able to I see your hand, David. I'm just not going to take the question yet. I'll answer it soon. When you leave that Mitzrayim, a person may think that they're done. They're done. They're out of Mitzrayim. They're not stuck anymore. The Rebbe says the lesson in the Sikha here is that no. The lesson in the Sikha is that there are always more Mitzrayims. You may be better than yesterday, but there's still something you need to grow on for tomorrow to get even higher until Mashiach comes. And because until Mashiach comes, we're not yet in the highest possible place. And Hashem is unlimited, Torah is unlimited, so you can always go on and on and on. Yes, Ellie.
Can we, do you have, what's it called, worksheets for the Gemara for yesterday? You only had half of them. For today, I mean.
The worksheets for Gemara today are up there.
But we're missing the last part, like the last 10 minutes of class, of video. There's no worksheets for.
Oh, if you listen to the whole video, and the end of the video was there, but I took it off because I said we're going to do it tomorrow.
Okay, man.
I didn't want to make the video longer. That was whatever. I wanted to fill it out in the video, but the video is already too long.
Can we do shorter videos? Like, you only say everything one time, and then we can just go back if we want to hear it again.
Yes, I see all you. Yeah, 100%, guys. The problem is that when I record the video, it doesn't show me how long it is. So I have to put a timer on my phone. What happens is that I put the timer on my phone, and then I have to pause the video to go and do something, to look at something else, and then I don't realize, but I left the timer going, whatever. The problem is just it's hard to tell how long it is. But I'm trying. I'm trying to do it short. Okay. Back to where we're up to. Okay, so let's continue further in this. Guys, the Rebbe gave an example from davening. The example from davening was that davening every day, every part of davening, you're going higher and growing more and more, but you still need to daven again the next day. You still need to continue davening every day. So that is that shows us that even when you leave one level of Mitzrayim, there's still more Mitzrayims to leave. Okay, we're going to go. I'm going to show you now. Share my screen. You all can look at it on your screen also. I'm going to share the Sikha, and we are going to learn further. We are up to Ois Dalet. Okay? I think that's where we're up to. Yeah, we're up to Ois Dalet. By the way, guys, again, like you see here highlighted in yellow on top of this worksheet, you can look at my screen. I want you all to fill it out, please. What you prefer and why, and based on that, I'll decide how many live classes there should be, what we should do further. But, okay, let's go. Ois Dalet. Okay, the problem is when I share my screen, I don't see if, I guess I'll try to see if any of your hands are raised. Okay, Ois Dalet. Aber nicht guckendig, but not looking, ignoring, Shemona Esrei is the Tachas Ilah, like we explained previously in the Sikha, that when you daven Shemona Esrei, it's like you're standing in front of the king and there's nothing higher than that, nothing else exists, it's just Hashem. So in your journey of davening, you reached the highest of levels, is Oif Margin, but the next day, you have to start davening again. Even though yesterday you reached already Shemona Esrei, you still need to begin davening again. And you don't skip any parts of davening. You start from the beginning of davening, from preparing for davening, which like we learned already, preparing for davening is already leaving Mitzrayim in some level, because just to prepare for davening, you have to leave yourself. And all the other parts of davening. Why? Why do you need to daven again every single day? The Rebbe says right now, because we already know this, but the Rebbe is spelling it out. No matter how high you reached yesterday, is das noch a Meitzar, this is still a Mitzrayim, this is still leaving you stuck, Magabe der Madrega, compared to which level of Asar Darf Tzukum Hai. Compared to the level that you're able to reach today, whatever you did yesterday is still lower compared to where you could reach today. So even though you went through davening and you reached Shemona Esrei, you reached the highest level, you still need to daven again today because you're still in the Mitzrayim compared to where you could get to today. Again, until Mashiach comes. So Shemona Esrei is like a taste of Mashiach. Because in your day, Shemona Esrei is the highest you could reach. But because Mashiach's not here yet, there's still even higher and you still can reach you can still get even higher. We're going to go to the worksheet in a second. Let's read the next paragraph. So this is all, guys, till now we're comparing davening. We're learning this all from davening. Comes now the Rebbe and says, just like we understand that this is how it works by davening, this is how it works in every area of serving Hashem. Let's read it inside. When Azoivias is in avodas atfila, just like it is in davening, that you go from stage to stage, you go higher and higher, and no matter how high you get, you still need to daven again the next day. Azoi is b'chlolus avodah. The same is in general in serving Hashem, in all areas of serving Hashem, not just davening. Davening was an example. What do we learn from davening to every area of serving Hashem? The following line, just the following line. You can remember that, and you can. It's a lesson that you can live with for a whole day, for a whole week, for your life, which is the Rebbe says, "A mensch darf sein a mahalach." A person needs to be, mahalach literally means a goer. In Chassidus, it explains in many places, you learn in future years in yeshiva, there's two ways how a person can live. You can either live as a oimid or as a mahalach. Oimid means standing, mahalach means going. Malachim, angels, they're very high, they're spiritual, they're very close to Hashem, they don't have a Yetzer Hara, but they have a problem. You know what the problem is? They can never be a mahalach. They're always a oimid. They're always standing in one place, doing exactly what Hashem told them to do. They have no challenges. and there's nothing to grow. Malachim can't grow. They're just stuck to whatever Hashem told them to do. A human being is unique because we are able to be a mahalach. That doesn't mean we're always a mahalach. We're able to be a mahalach. A mahalach means that you're always growing. A mahalach means you're always growing, you're always moving, because there's always more to grow and always higher to get, like we're learning in the Sikha. So the lesson we learn from davening is that you shouldn't be a oimid, you have to be a mahalach. You have to be someone that's constantly growing, constantly moving. If a human being stops, it's scary. It might mean you're sick, it might mean chas v'shalom someone's paralyzed. A human being is someone that constantly moves. You're always moving. Okay, but what does that mean spiritually? Let's continue reading inside. We're up to the third line of 10. Okay. Afilu nochin arois came legamri from By the way, some of you may have your hands raised. I can't see it right now, but when we finish this paragraph, I'll look back to see if any of you have questions. Afilu nochin arois came, even after going out of legamri, completely from bad, even when you completely leave a bad place where you were before, unvi hoich it is nitzukum, and no matter how high you reached, dafür wissen, a person needs to know, as es is noch nit genug. Don't think you're done. It's not enough. Because if you were to think about where you could reach, if you were to think about an even higher level, you're still in some way connected to something bad, and you can still grow and reach higher. Therefore, don't think you could ever stop. You can never stand still. You always have to be moving. Let me see if any of you raised your hand. Okay, there's no hands raised, so we're going to go straight. Let me share my screen again. We're going to go straight to the worksheet to fill out questions. On your screen, you can open the other tab and go to your worksheet. Okay, the first question. Question number 1 for Dalet. If one already leaves his personal Mitzrayim and his davening today, why must he daven again tomorrow? The answer is because, do any of you want to answer? Aaron, let me see if I can do this. Aaron. I have to get used to myself. On you. Yes, Aaron.
Yeah, because you might leave the Mitzrayim here today, but you still have more Mitzrayim, you still have more stages tomorrow and every other day till Mashiach.
Very good, Aaron. So very good. And the answer is that even though you left your Mitzrayim, even though you left what you were stuck in today, you can still continue growing and reach higher and higher until Mashiach comes. There's still a Mitzrayim for tomorrow. There is still something that you can grow with for tomorrow. Okay? That is the answer to the first question. Next question. Raise your hand if you want to answer it. I'll read it. What can we learn from what we explained in davening to all parts of serving Hashem? Davening was an example. But from davening, we're learning from there to every area of serving Hashem. Does anyone have the answer? Anyone raising their hand for the answer? I see, yes, Ellie.
You can always go higher. That you're never the highest you can be.
Very good. That in all areas of serving Hashem, you always have to continue growing. Never think that what you did yesterday is enough. You always have to grow because you could always get higher and higher. Very good. Question number 3. What does it mean to be a mahalach? I'm looking for a hand. Someone that I didn't call on yet. What does it mean to be a mahalach? Zalman, I see your hand. Next time, try to raise your hand in the thing so it pops up. Yes, Zalman.
Never stopping. You're always growing.
Very good. Let's use the word standing, right? Oimed, never standing. You're never standing still. You're always moving. A human being has to constantly be moving and growing and working and going higher and higher. Very good. That's what it means to be a mahalach. Okay. Question 4, we have to go back in the Sikha for. So let's go back to the Sikha. I'll give you all a second. Oh, you see, you can look at my screen. Okay, the Rebbe continues. We're up to the paragraph right before 11. Araya, oif dem. What's a proof? How can a person prove to himself? If, let's say, if you're unsure and you think that you reached the highest you can ever reach, how could you prove to yourself that you didn't? How could you prove to yourself that there's still more you need to work on? So the Rebbe says a very simple thing that you can use to prove to yourself. A raya of them, a proof for this, kann sich bringen, I am following with my mouse over the word so you can see. Kann sich bringen, a person can bring from them, was zet, from this that you see, Noch, you still see in Azulas in another person, the mitzius hara, the bad that's in another person. How can you know that you still didn't reach the highest you can reach from the fact that you can look at another person and see something negative about them? Think something negative about them. How does that show you that there's still more you can grow on? Maybe they really have something negative. Look at what the Baal Shem Tov teaches us. The Rebbe says, this is famous, many of you probably heard this before. As is doch bavust, it's known. The Mayamer Baal Shem Tov nishmas yedem, what the Baal Shem Tov taught us. That what? As a mensch zet ra and atzveten, that a person, when a person sees negative, when a person sees bad in someone else, is abavais, that's a proof, that shows you as er alein farmokt themselves ra, that you yourself possess the same bad traits. Bedakos alkopan. Maybe in an edler way, in a refined way, and maybe in a very small way, but the fact that you even see, the Baal Shem Tov says, looking at someone else is a mirror. That sometimes Hashem shows you something negative in someone else, because that's Hashem's way of telling you that you have something negative that you need to work on. And therefore, if you look around, and if Chas v'Shalom, you shouldn't ever, but if you look at someone and something negative pops in your head about them, that means that there's still negative inside of you that you need to work on. So that itself is a proof, and obviously we can all relate to this. That's a proof that everyone still has something they can work on. Eli, I see you're raising your hand. Give me a second. Sorry. Oh, not anymore. Yes, Aaron.
Yeah, so it means when you go talk to the Rebbe and you ask for something about one of your problems, and you go to Rebbe and he tells you your problems, means he has problems too.
Very good question, Aaron. Very good question. So, Aaron, I'm going to answer your question in very short because there's a long answer. There's a famous sikha from Chelik Yud Parshas Noach. A famous sikha there where the Rebbe explains this Baal Shem Tov's saying, and the Rebbe asks your exact question. The Rebbe says, you're telling me that whenever I see someone else and I want to help them because they have something negative, like the Rebbe, when we share with the Rebbe something negative, that means that you have something bad because you want to help them with what they need fixed. You want to help them with what they have bad. So Aaron, that's a very good question. The Rebbe asks that. And in short, Aaron, the answer to your question, the way the Rebbe explains it there, the Rebbe says it depends in what way you see the bad in the other person. Because remember, all of this is Hashem showing you. It's Hashgacha Pratis that you looked at someone else and saw something bad. There's a reason why Hashem made you see that something bad. And the Rebbe explains it could be for two reasons. One reason it could be why you saw that something bad is, Aaron, like you said, like by the Rebbe, it's to help them. Why is Hashem showing you something bad in another person? In order to help them. Another reason why Hashem can be showing you something bad in another person is to remind you that you have something bad in yourself. How do you know which one it is? How do you know which one it is, Aaron? The way you know which one it is how Hashem showed it to you. When you thought of that negative thing about the other person, is the first thing that came to mind, oh, I want to help them. I want to show them that I can help them and help them grow. Or is the first thing that came to your mind, oh my gosh, they're such a bad person. That's the difference. It depends how it came into your mind. That's how you know if it's to show you that you have something bad in yourself or if it's there to fix them. Okay, good. I see you giving your thumbs up. Thumbs down? You want to say it? Yes, Aaron?
No, nothing. I was just...
Okay, very good. Okay, so we're going to go back to the worksheet and answer the question, guys. Question 4. How can one prove to himself that he is not done growing and working on himself? And if you want to answer the question, someone I didn't call on yet. Let me see. I see Aaron your hand, but let me see. You just spoke. Let me see someone else. Yes, Mendy.
No, I was asking a question if this is recorded.
Yes, this is being recorded.
Okay, perfect.
Anyone want to answer it? Yes, David.
If he sees bad in others.
Very good. When you see bad in others, that means that there's something that you need to fix in yourself. You still need to grow. Okay, the next question I'll answer because it's basically the same thing. What does the Baal Shem Tov teach us about seeing negative in others? That if you see negative in someone else, it's Hashem's way of showing you that there's something in yourself that you still need to fix. Okay, let's go back into the Sikha. Shalom, do you have a question? I see your hand raised.
I was
Just
trying
want to go through the
I
hands.
was trying to answer the question.
Okay. David, do you have a question? So that was the
No.
answer. I'm going to lower your hands just so Mandy, I'm going to lower your hand. Sorry. Aaron, do you have a question?
Yeah, can you go a little slower?
I'll try. Yes.
Thanks.
Okay. Shalom, you have a question?
No, I already told you.
Okay. Lower your hand. If you don't have a question, lower your hand just so I don't. Shimshi. Yes, Shimshi.
What's the answer to number 5?
Number 5. The answer to what does the Baal Shem teach about seeing negative in others? The answer is that Hashem is showing you that negative thing in someone else to show you that you have something negative in yourself that you need to work on. Hashem is showing that to you to show you that you need to work on something inside of yourself. Okay? Okay, let's go back into the Sikha. We're up to section 11 in the Sikha, okay? The Rebbe now continues and he explains, now that we know that there's still things you need to work on in yourself, what is the proper way to work on yourself? This is the famous thing that Chassidus talks about, and let's see. From them, you also need to leave the things that are still negative about yourself, the mitzrayos. Men darf halten in ein ton. A person has to constantly be working on himself. If mezakech sein, purifying, then basar hagashmi, your physical body, nit brechenen durch tainesim v'sigufim, not breaking your body through fasting or through putting pain on yourself. This is many years ago, 100, 200, 300 years ago, this was a common way that people would work on themselves. If they found something bad, they would fast and they would torture themselves. But nowadays, that's not the way to do it, the Rebbe says. Purifying your body. Now, there's a famous thing also from the Baal Shem Tov, where the Baal Shem Tov teaches this to us. There's another Sikha, I think Parshas Kiseitze, there's another Sikha in these Chalakim where the Rebbe explains this in length. Here the Rebbe just quotes it, and I'll explain it outside. The Pasuk says, Kisira chamor seinacha, roivetz tachas masoi, v'chadalta me'azoiv loy, azoiv ta'azoivim. What does that Pasuk mean? It's really a mitzvah in Torah, that if you're traveling on the road and you see your friend, you see that your friend has something, he's traveling with his animal, his donkey, carrying carrying a load. And this donkey collapses. It was too heavy. What do? So the Torah says, don't ignore him. You have to go and help him. That's the mitzvah that the Torah says. If you see someone's donkey that collapsed because it was carrying something too heavy, you have to go and help him. The Baal Shem Tov says we can take this pasuk and learn it in a more spiritual way. What does chamar mean? Chamar means a donkey. But the meaning of chamar could also be like chumrius, which means grabkeit. It means things that are very negative about yourself. When you're too into your body, you're too into yourself. So when it says kisir chamar seinacha, when you see your enemy, who's your enemy? It's talking about your nafsh bahamas. When you see your body and your nafsh bahamas, that they're overworked by spiritual things, they're overworked by the Torah and mitzvahs, that's what it means, they collapsed. What should you do? So there's two ways you can deal with it. You can either go and break your body and push your body away and say ignore it and completely push it away, or the other way, that's the wrong way. The Torah says, how should you deal with it? Azoiv ta'azovim. Help it. Don't break it, help it. There's a famous story, I forget the details, about Alter Rebbe, that forgot which Rebbe said. There was a story about Alter Rebbe had a box, and they said it couldn't be that Alter Rebbe broke the box. It had to be that Alter Rebbe pulled a pin out from the hinge that broke it. I forget the exact details. The point is that in the Rabbeim taught us that we don't use the approach of breaking things, of breaking the world. No. We use the world. We work on the world. We make it better. We help the world that it should help us. We don't break it. So when you have things in your body that you need to work on, the way to deal with it is by working on it, helping it, and not breaking it. Okay, let's go. I'm going to share with you my screen. We're going to read it inside. And then we'll go to the worksheet. Okay, let's read it inside. We're up to here. We'll start from the fourth line, by this line. Nit brechenim, not breaking your body, durch tanesim v'tzugufim, through fasting and through torturing it, nor oiseidelanim, purifying your body. This is bavust, as it is known. Their Maimer al Baal Shem Tov Nishmas Yedin, what the Baal Shem Tov taught us. If in Pasuk, on the Pasuk, Ki tirech hamor seinacha, when you see the donkey of your enemy collapsed, the Baal Shem Tov teaches about the Pasuk, don't destroy it, don't break it, but help the body. Okay? The Rebbe doesn't say the whole thing, he just quotes it. Now, let's continue. What does that mean? Baal v'yashtetu, from they're free. As soon as you wake up in the morning, Zoler, we're going to go lower here, Zoler. Einspannen sein Chamar, you have to harness your donkey. Your donkey, what does your donkey mean? This means dem choimer. Choimer means chumis, your body, the negative parts of your body. You have to get it, harness it. That means get it ready. Don't break it. Don't ignore it. No, let it come along with you on the journey. Bring it along. Help it. Because durch dem dafka, specifically through dealing with your body in such a way, kommen sukumen, you can come to some gili de la'asid, to what we're going to have when Mashiach comes. When Mashiach comes, how will our body be when Mashiach comes? It won't be broken. It won't disappear. No, our body will be the one seeing Hashem. Our body will be the one seeing godliness. As V'rol kol basar, as the basar hagashmi, our physical body, that azoifel ois ge'edel, will be so purified, un ois geleitet werden, also means purified, bizer vet zen elikos, until our actual body will be seeing godliness. We're not done the Sikha. This is an old version of Back to Basics that I had online, where they, I see your faces, where they just finish it here. We're going another 2 oisias. Oh, we have more time. We're not doing any more Sikha before Pesach. It'll be tested. It's just this. We have 2 more oisias, and we'll hopefully be done by the end of the week, and then we'll start reviewing. Okay, let's go to the questions. 2 more questions here. What is the correct way for a person to work on their body? If you know the answer, raise your hand. What is the correct way for a person to work on their body? Yes, Shalom.
By not breaking it, but helping it to grow.
Very good. Not breaking it, not destroying it, but helping it. Okay? Not destroying it, not breaking it, helping it. Let it be a part of your serving Hashem. Okay. Next question. Raise your hand if you know the answer. What does the Baal Shem Tov teach on the pasuk? Yisir chamor ozev tazev imay. What does the Baal Shem Tov teach us on the pasuk? Yisir chamor ozev tazev imay. Let's see if I can get someone that I did not call on yet. Yes, Fischl.
Finally. He says that, like, helping the donkey, when he says helping the donkey to, like, let's say that's an overload, helping our body.
Very good. The Baal Shem Tov explains that when the pasuk says that there's a mitzvah to help lift up the donkey that's overloaded, what it spiritually means is to help your physical body when it's overloaded. Don't break it, but help it. Very good. So when your body feels overloaded, you have to help it. That's what the spiritual meaning of the mitzvah. Again, the spiritual meaning of the mitzvah. They have to help the donkey when it's overloaded is helping your body when it's overloaded. Okay? If your hand was raised just to answer a question, lower your hand. And if I'm lowering hands, if you have a question on something we just learned, keep your hand raised. Okay, I don't see any hands. Very good. We're going to go further. We're going to do I say, and that's going to be it for today. Then you can stop the video. You can go off. If you have questions, you can stay on. Either questions on Gemara or earlier in the Sikha, I'll answer all your questions. Okay, let's go to I say. Okay, I'm going to have to post a new PDF. For now, we're going to use this. It is faded, but it's not so much that we're learning right now. Okay, I'm going to zoom in because it's faded, so it's clear. I say. A person can come up with the following claim. A person can think to himself, when he thinks about working on himself, a person can say, okay, Aaron, yes.
Yeah, what's answer 7? And this day I was reading 6.
Answer 7 is that when your body is overloaded, help it. What does it mean when the donkey is overloaded? You should help it. The Baal Shem Tov says it's referring to your body. When your body is overloaded, don't break it, but help it. Okay. I say, Kommen doch teinen bei sich. A person can think to himself. Ich hab genug gearbeitet. I worked hard enough. Mit sich, with myself. Bis to the point where ich bin potter geworden von dem offenen und groben Ra. I already got rid of all the bad that I have inside of me, that I can see. Und ich stehe schon, I'm already standing auf a hoiche Madrega, on a higher level. So what's the question that a person can think to himself? We're up to Ver, the line that starts Ver. Wer sagt es, als ich darf weiter arbeiten? Who says I need to continue working? Es ist mir genug, die Madrega in welcher ich befinde sich. It's enough for me where I reached already. I already worked on myself. I reached on myself to get higher. So I don't need to work on myself anymore. I finished. That's the question everyone can think to themselves. So right away, the Rebbe answers. We all know the answer, but the Rebbe is spelling it out. Zokt menim, what do we tell such a person? We're up to the next paragraph. My mouse is over it. Zokt menim, we tell him, as the Ufgabe under Indian ha'adam is, what is the job of a person? You need to be a goer. You need to continue going, not like the angels. You shouldn't be standing in one spot. How do you know if you're doing the right thing? If you're moving, if you're growing. As soon as you're standing still, even if you're on a very high level, you're not doing enough. Every day, every day Hashem gives you, you have to fulfill your job in the world in that day. Like the pasuk says, Yomim Yutzaru v'lo yachad ba. This is a pasuk that many Marmarim quote, famous quotes, where the pasuk is saying that Yomim Yutzaru we could translate as counted. You have counted days. V'lo yachad, each day has what you're supposed to accomplish in that day. If you think that you worked yesterday and today's a new day, what you worked yesterday doesn't work for today. Every day there are new things that you need to do, new missions Hashem gives you. So what you did yesterday doesn't fulfill your missions today. Every day of your life needs to be full with Torah and mitzvahs. That's why every day we daven again. Every day we do everything, the mitzvahs again that we did the day before. Because every day it's a new day and there's new things you have to accomplish on that day. And Hashem counts the days of your life, counts which days were full of the right things. Which days were you doing the right things. So every day there's a new thing to do. That's how we know that no, it's not enough what you did yesterday. It's not enough that you reached that level. You need to continue moving, continue growing. Let's finish the ice and then I'll take questions and then we'll go to the worksheet and then we're done. This is the lesson from the journeys, from Parshas Masei. You should never be satisfied with the level by Velchem and Halt Canal, whichever level you're holding at. Never be satisfied, never think it's enough, whichever level you're holding at now. Whichever level you're holding at now, you still need to grow and continue moving, continue going higher. And every day you need to do again. Grow that day, reach higher that day, even though you did the same thing the day before. Because you have to continuously be growing and moving. That's what a human being needs to do. What I'm going to do is, because we're done now, I'm just going to do the questions, and then I'll take your questions. As soon as we finish the worksheet, you can leave, and I'll stay on to answer all questions you have on Gemara, on Sicha, and the recording will be available later. Okay, question number one of Isay. What mistake may one make when he works on himself and reaches a higher level? You reached a higher level, you worked on yourself. What mistake can a person make? I'm looking for hands that are raised. I'm going to go now for Ellie. Yes, Ellie.
That he may think that he got rid of all the bad and everything, and he's on the highest level he could be, and he doesn't need to go any higher.
Very good. Very good, Ellie. The answer is that answer to number one of Isay is that a person will think, I don't need to do any more. I don't need to continue growing. I already reached a higher level. That's the answer to number one. I already reached a higher level. I don't need to get any higher. I already got rid of all the bad. Okay, I'm giving you a second to fill it in. Okay, if you're raised your hand for question one, you can take your hand down. Now we're going to go to question two. How do we respond to such a mistake? What do you tell such a person? If a person makes a mistake, how do you respond to them? Okay, raise your hand if you have the answer to question two. Yes, Shalom.
By always moving and not standing still. Always moving.
So how do we respond to such a person? What do we tell such a person?
That we can always go high. We can always go higher, and that.
Very good. We tell such a person that you have to be a mahalach. You have to always be moving, always growing. You can always go higher. Just because you got to a certain level yesterday, it doesn't mean you can't get higher. That's the answer to number 2. We tell such a person, you always have to continue growing. You can never stop. Okay, question 3. Raise your hand if you can still fill out question 2 if you're in the middle of typing. I'm just going to take the raised hands for question 3. If you know the answer to question 3, what do we learn from the pasuk Yomim Yutzaru V'lo Yachad B'hem? What do we learn out from that pasuk? What does the Rebbe explain from that pasuk? Let me take someone that I did not call on. Is there anyone that I didn't know? I called on all of you. So let me take. Yes, Fischel.
Okay, first of all, I just missed number 2, and I didn't type number 2. I didn't hear you.
Do you know first? Do you know the answer to number 3?
Not really, kind of.
Okay, so let me first. I asked for the answer for 3, so let me first get someone that has the answer for that, and then I'll come back to 2. Answer for number 3, yes, Ellie.
That Hashem gave you a certain amount of days, so you should use them.
Very good. That Hashem gave you a certain amount of days because every day there's something you need to do on that day. Just because you did it the day before, it doesn't mean you don't need to do it again. Okay? Every day there's something Hashem gives you for that day. Hashem counts your days. That's the answer to question 3. Official. The answer to question 2 was that how do we respond to such a mistake? By telling the person you always have to continue growing. Even though you reached higher yesterday, you can reach even higher today. Okay, and again, the answer to 3 was that every day is counted. There's something you're meant to do each day. Hashem gives you a day to do something that day. Okay, the translations. Vile means because. Vile means because, and ver means who. Ver means who. Vile means because, and ver means who. Okay? Again, we're going to try doing every day at 2:30 at the same time, a live class on Sikha, unless I let you know otherwise. Okay? I want you to answer, guys, on the top of your worksheets. Please answer this so I see what you guys prefer, what you like. And the Gemara class for now will still be pre-recorded. Now, the class is over. I'm still recording it, so you can, if you have any questions, you can come back here. Does anyone, if you have any questions, raise your hand. And I'll go through you one by one. I want to call on someone that did not call on yet. Is anyone that has questions that I did not? Okay, I called on you once already. Okay, fine. Let me start with Aaron. Yes.
Yeah.
There's questions on Gemara, on Sikh, anything we've been learning for the past week.
Yeah, I don't remember all the questions, but one question now: Do we have to write Do we have to write the summary every time?
No,
not?
you don't need. You don't need to write the summary.
Oh, because I spent like 15 minutes
it's
making
good.
like a...
Aaron, that's good. You should really write a summary. It helps you. It helps you review what you learned. It's there for you to help you review. But
yeah, but basically the summary of Sikha is that you could always go higher, and
that's the summary of the whole Sikha. But in each choice, there's something else we discuss. Okay. I muted you. Next, if you have more questions, we'll come back to you. Yes, Fischel.
You said you're gonna bring Mendel.
Maybe next time. Yes, Zalman. Oh, you don't have a question, Zalman. Okay, and Aaron. Yes, Aaron, more questions.
Yeah, can we make a Zoom for Gemara too? Because I think Zoom is so much, it's so much better.
For now, we're going to just do it for Sikha. A lot of people like the recordings because they can do it in their own time, their own pace. So
and they could still do the.
I know you're right. We can still record it after, but we're going little by little. We just added now a live class for Sikha. As we go, we'll add. We'll see if we add one for tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Okay, Zalman.
No,
Zalman, it's nice to see you.
Nothing.
Okay.